It's hero time!
I never really watched Ben 10 Omniverse as a kid, and I have several reasons. Look, the show was ugly, they got rid of Gwen and Kevin, then added Rook. Like, how can you even like him? He's a pawn, get him out of here, he's a hindrance. The art style is so visually unappealing, like, ew, why? I'm saying this before I rewatched the show to see if I was tripping or not, and if I would recommend the show if you haven't seen it, so like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into it.
So, this is goodbye?
To it. I loved the beginning of the first episode. It was so emotional with great music, interactions, and dialogue. I'm not talking about the fight scene with Bootleg. I guess you could say he needs an upgrade. I'm talking about Ben's goodbye with Gwen and Kevin. It was so well done, especially Kevin going in for the hug first. I was squealing like a little piggy over how wholesome it was. The story picks back up after the events of Ultimate Alien, but Ben has a new partner, Pawn, and since he's so great, we'll be calling him Knight for the rest of the video. Knight and Ben's dynamic is so fun to watch as Ben warms up to him since he didn't want to have him as a partner in the first place.
Let me tell you something, new alien partner that I never wanted in the first place, but I'm begrudgingly beginning to like.
I think this is the right call because honestly, their dialogue carried season 1, and I don't think Ben is as good without like a group or a team of people with him. I think that's really what brings out the best in him. Knight's the level-headed guy who has to deal with Ben, and since he's not from Earth, we get some pretty good and funny scenes since he doesn't understand Earth lingo and customs. He's also nice with the hands, so good for him. The relationship carries the first season, as I've just mentioned, since the show was mainly episodic besides Kyber being in some episodes, and it was honestly pretty mid if I'm being honest. Season 2 is when I could say that the season became really great, not good. If it wasn't for the 4 episodes, Store 23, Ben Again, Bros in Space, and Many Happy Returns. What lowered my enjoyment of the show was I kept comparing the show to the show I'd watched before, expecting a masterpiece in storytelling and fights out of this world. But when I watched the aforementioned 4 episodes, I realized what made this show so great. The character interactions, abilities, and the fact it's just fun.
You are everything I wanted to be! You just threw it away!
The designs, man. Still, I have gone on to become a bigger fan of the art style, but some of these designs are unforgivable. Like, Spider Monkey went from Albert Einstein to Wolverine with no explanation. We're not going to talk about forearms, but we are going to talk about Humongosaur, his Girl Scout sash, and his Stone Cold Steve Austin trunks. It's shameful. I also don't like Kraven. I meant Kyber, the Huntsman. He's not as menacing as Vilgax, not as interesting as Kevin 11, like he's just a bum. It would have been more interesting if he was the one who went after Ben instead of his dog doing it. It makes his dog seem like the big bad. Kyber honestly finally gets some action himself at like the end of season 1, then gets embarrassed, thoroughly underwhelming everyone involved. Ben constantly disrespecting him didn't help his intimidation factor any. He's got a dope character design though. I also can't stand the fact they brought back the Ben can't get the right alien thing and making it so prominent because it is so annoying. Okay, it's mentioned in like every episode of season 1, and the issue I have with that is you can see that he can just spam click his chest to change aliens, but maybe I just missed something. I get Admus explains the reason why Ben can't get the right alien, but he knows Ben slammed the watch, so like why? It's not even fun and creative like in the original series. It's so annoying. Now to talk about an episode I did like, but I can't help but point this out. Although I think Store 23 was a great episode, seeing a Ben without Grandpa Max as the richest, most famous superhero who has become more obsessed with his image than anything else was just fantastic to see. It was a delight. It doesn't have the same effect when our Ben, who the whole season and up to this point acts like a jerk, constantly flexing his position and how many times he saved the Earth or the universe or both, talk sense into him. Like, it's so like it comes off as kinda disingenuous.
Can't lie, she's a genius.
I have no idea why they still portray Ben like this. It makes me want to punch him in the balls. Nobody liked it in Alien Force Season 3, so why would anybody like it now? I'd still highly recommend that episode, it's phenomenal.
Are you sure? I'm sure.
Now, would I recommend Ben 10 Omniverse if you've seen the series and just want to re-experience the show, or if you're new to the show? If I was talking about this first season only, I would have said no, and the video would have been so much more negative. Oh my gosh, I was ready to wow out when I was watching season 1, man. I just could not take it. But season 2, dude, season 2 was so good. It was not even good. It was so great. Back-to-back episodes of just peak Ben 10, man, and I just felt head over heels in love with the show at that point. Look, if you don't like episodes 2, 7, 8, and 9 of season 2, don't watch the show, quite frankly. Those episodes embody everything that makes this show so great. I'm also putting what stuck out to me as good and bad up on the screen now, and episodes that you should watch. I hope you enjoyed the video, and say it with me.
It's Gyro time.
Good enough.